Meeting of the Sherman County Board of Commissioners come to order, please. First up is public comment. If anyone wants to address, please.
Everybody okay with the minutes from the last meeting?
Yeah.
I'm good with them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of November 12th.
A second.
Been moved and seconded. We approve the minutes of November the 12th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed.
And I would make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $189,673.01.
Second that.
Been moved and seconded. We pay the bills. 189,673.01. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. We don't have any other public comments at this time. We have a application from Matt Minshew for emergency vehicle. He had a different vehicle.
I would make a motion to approve the application for designated emergency vehicle for Matt Minshew.
I second that one.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. Everybody had a chance to look at the library contract.
Yep.
This is pretty much the same contract as we've had in the past, right, Brad?
Just changed dates, yeah.
Date's been changed, okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the contract for the library.
We'll second.
Been moved and seconded, we accept the contract with the library. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion is passed. On this contract with the city for the Woolock building, this contract I have here in the back needs to be changed. So, cause this one has 100% and then you send a memo says we pay 75%.
No, I sent what the original contract language
Oh,
was,
okay,
and that was entered in 2012. At that time, City Fire was sharing part of the building, so the city
Okay,
was picking
so-
up 25% of the tab. Now that we're merged, the city is asking that we pay 100% of the utilities.
okay.
Because 100% of the benefit or the assets belong to,
Sherman County.
We have been paying it. The agreement just hasn't matched what's going on.
What's going on?
Yes.
So, okay, my
After the
misunderstood
fire
that.
merger, we started paying it all, but the agreement did not reflect that.
Okay.
So when this all came about and you guys merged together, it was agreed upon that the city would pay 25%, and the reason for that was because of what?
City Fire.
City Fire
And
still
then they
had,
combined them.
right, we combined them and so everything is under the rural fire or Sherman County Fire now. And so we will pay 100% of everything because we have control of all
Everything.
fire trucks now. Is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay. And so we have control of the building and everything.
So basically, the only thing we do not own then is the building. And we lease that building for $1?
Yes.
I would say approve that, but I'd like to find out if the city has a number in mind that they would take for that building. Just to clean this whole thing up and get just a done deal. They were obviously unwilling to just surrender it. Obviously, they've got investment in it.
It's true.
So it'd be a question to ask, moving forward.
Would be what?
What's the magic number? What would it take? That's just a thought.
That would just make it all. Then
We don't
anything.
at all. That'll be up to you guys.
Well, that only makes sense to me, because right now we're kind of locked in because we wanted to do all that remodeling. It didn't make
Which, pile of
sense.
money in that building.
Yes, that's correct.
So that would just kind of close the loop, it'd be a final deal, the last step. So,
So I'll make a motion to go ahead and accept this new contract with the city on the Woolock building.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded, we accept the contract with the Woolock building. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion is passed. So you're gonna go off the fire board as of this meeting or
January.
January?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you found a replacement for yourself?
they're looking.
Okay. I don't think we need to take any action on the fire board one. I have a notice here from the hospital, formal notice that Sabrina Thompson will be given notice of departure as of 9/30/24 to the hospital board. This is by Bree Green. We can entertain.
So I am running the ads right now. They'll be in the newspaper for 2 weeks, and it's on your agenda for December 9th, your next meeting.
Okay. All right. There's no other public comments. I guess we'll move into the public hearing for the Schooler Annex or application EDX.
Okay, so it's a Zoom. He'll have to get us hooked in for that. And Jaleesa and Bert are here.
Okay.
Brett, have you reviewed this, this MOU between Sherman County 911 and Wallace County Sheriff's Office?
I have not.
Chrissy, do we even have an MOU between Sherman County
just so you guys know, Dominic will be the one who's leading the discussion. He's the gentleman who was here last time for the IRB, so he's our contact with Gilmore and Bell. So he'll be leading this for you guys and walking you through that.
Okay,
Okay.
So just so you know who you're looking for on the screen.
Okay.
So.
Good.
was Dominic at the opening?
Not at the opening, no.
Okay.
No. He would have been he's the gentleman who came when we approved the IRB for, the tire.
Place.
Mm-hmm.
And have you heard any information of how that's coming along or anything?
I can say it's coming along.
Okay,
Yep,
the wheels turn slow,
yes. Always do.
and I know, I talked to Mr. Korblich, and wheels are turning slow there, but they are turning, so.
Morning, this is Dominic. I'm happy to, whenever you're ready to start, I'm happy to discuss.
Okay, good morning. I guess, turn the floor over to you, Dominic, and you can let us know what we're doing here.
Sure, absolutely. So what we have this morning is proceedings related to a property tax abatement for the Scholar Company project. This property tax abatement would be granted pursuant to the Constitution and statutory tax abatement process as opposed to an IRB tax abatement process. That is available for facilities that are used exclusively in manufacturing articles of commerce. And that is what this facility is applying under and would qualify for. In order to effect that tax abatement, which can go up to 10 years, there need to be three things that occur. Number one, need to hold a public hearing on the matter. That has been noticed up and can be done this morning. Following the public hearing, there are two resolutions. One resolution would make certain statutorily required findings that this facility will be utilized in a manufacturing capacity. And then this following resolution will say, because we've made the finding that it is used in a manufacturing capacity, we go ahead and we've held the public hearing and we are willing to grant that property tax abatement. So those are the three steps that we have today to open a public hearing and receive any public comment that there may be on the matter, and then to consider the passage of or approval of two resolutions. I know there are representatives from the company on as well, if you have any specific project questions.
Okay. Well, we've opened the hearing, so we've got the public hearing open.
No, we haven't opened it
Do we
yet.
need to,
A motion to open the public
okay, sorry.
I will make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second.
Been moved and second, we open the public hearing for the Schooler project. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. Motion's passed. Okay. Anyone have any comments? No comments at this time, so we can continue.
So if there are no comments, then the first, like I said, if you have project-specific questions, you may ask the company representatives that are on the line. If you don't have any questions and you want to go straight into the resolutions, the first resolution would be the resolution to make the findings of fact regarding the Schooler Company property tax exemption. And then after that would be the resolution that would grant the exemption.
So the resolution, the first one is resolution number 24-10. And Brett, I assume
Yes.
everything looks good there? Okay, thank you.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 24-10.
A second.
Been moved and seconded, we adopt resolution 24-10. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 24-11.
A second.
Been moved and seconded, we adopt resolution 24-11. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. Okay, Dominic, I also have a tax incentive agreement. Is that part of,
Correct. Yes, that was approved by the second resolution. The form of that, what that states is that the company is required to maintain its use as a manufacturing facility in order to maintain the property tax exemption. That's a statutory requirement. The company is also required to file the annual reports that are a necessary part of continuing that tax abatement. And so the approval of the second resolution approved the form of that tax incentive agreement as well.
do we need to just sign this?
Yep, we can execute that, and then we'll work through with the company and the clerk to finish up the application process to send it on to the Board of Tax Appeals and get everything put into effect.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any questions from anyone regarding this? Not, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
A second.
Been moved and seconded to close the public hearing on the Schooler Green tax exemption. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion is passed. Okay. Good day. Chrissy.
I think, are you done looking it over?
Yeah, I'm gonna get with you after,
Okay.
you and Chrissy, or I'll shoot you an email on a couple of things just to clarify a couple of
Okay,
things.
so do you want me to present to them what I have?
You can go ahead and
Now?
present it, yeah, so they have some background, but there's a few things I think we need to discuss about adding.
Sure. Yeah, and my apologies, I just simply
No, you're
forgot to
fine.
send it to you. I do these all that often, but obviously you need to review them, so. I think we kind of covered like what this is for, so.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly, what you're saying is just we're a backup site if Wallace County goes down.
Yes, a lot of the centers in this half of the state don't have any physical location to go to. And radios mostly are still tied to a certain physical location.
Right.
So it's really,
Do you see
Just
this
hold our breath.
expanding to other counties?
I don't know. I feel like it's not like we're gonna occupy that space often. I mean, it's gonna be a pretty big disaster if we're operating out of there and then another one needs it. And so I feel like it's the right thing to do to at least discuss it with them and see where they're at. And if and when they would go down, I know a counterpart of mine down in Greensburg got hit by lightning last year, I believe. Took out everything in their
Everything.
center.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So talking with her quite a bit kind of gets me to thinking, you know, if nothing else, short term at least, we could say, send one of your people up here, we'll do the best we can for you. Because with the move to 800 radios,
Go everywhere.
we're not quite as tied, but we're still, you know, there's certain things that are.
Is there something we need to change with the city?
I'd have to look at that agreement again.
Okay.
That's one note I have, is we probably need at least the police department to sign off on this as well, that they're authorizing access by a third party.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that obviously, you know, comes with security agreements and everything that we sign anyway. So each one of them would have to be fingerprinted, background checked, security agreements signed, etc. So this was just kind of the first step, I felt like, to see.
Because it's kind of getting into a sublease type, subletting type situation in a way. There we go.
Can I reach?
Oh, you're younger than me.
Hold it up to you. There you go.
There we go.
Teamwork.
Team
All right.
effort.
Yeah, and please tell me what I need to do. I'm obviously just, you know, in my position, it's kind of uncharted territory, so.
No, I mean, it makes sense. It's just, we just need to make sure everything's neat and tidy, so.
I just thought it was extremely generous of them to offer.
Yeah.
Good working
Well, it
relationship with them.
shows there's a need, you know.
They tend to lose power down there quite a bit, and I know they got a new generator. And I don't know if there's bigger issues or what the case may be, but if something catastrophic happened, I would be more than happy to help them.
Yeah.
'Cause they're easy to work with.
To look into the future more, is there more of a trend to go to one central dispatch over wide areas, or has that, I can remember several years ago going to the commissioner convention, and they were talking about, centralizing some of the dispatch centers to
I
where,
know, southeast of us, Ford County, Dodge City, has taken over 3 or 4 counties. It's not going very well. It's not very safe. I know those who work as responders in the counties that they're serving and have a lot of concerns
a
about
lot
how
of
that's
area to
going.
cover. And
It's fine on
under-
a day like this,
Yeah,
and it's saving money, but it's boots on the ground. I don't feel like it's the best thing.
okay.
I'm not saying it can't happen. Kit Carson County does, Cheyenne County, Colorado, and that's a lot of geography they're covering
Yeah, because
in a
Carson
small
County's-
room.
yeah.
It's working, but it's painful. And the recruitment issues that we currently have, I can't imagine bringing someone in and saying, not only do you need to know our county like the back of your hand, but this one too,
Yeah.
that you don't even live in.
Yeah.
So,
Well, when more and more people are transferring from other areas, as they might be coming out of the city and to try to understand the vastness of the county and understand that you just can't get there from here, but you can work your way around to there.
Well, and we have to get down to basics. This job isn't like Walmart and you rung something up incorrectly
Right.
and it's, oh, okay, we'll fix it. It's life or death in some cases, so we've got to know what we're doing.
Let's let Brett you get with him and
Sure.
get it cleaned up, and then we'll revisit it.
Yeah. Like I said, there's no rush on it. They already signed it quickly. I was like, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll just have them represent it to their commission. And we'll get it in ink. The copy is supposedly in the mail, the real copy. I
Okay.
have yet to see it, and that's been weeks ago. So
Okay.
imagine it's in that pile wherever they all go.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Brown.
Yes,
Come
sir.
on up.
Thank you for the opportunity to come and speak.
Yeah.
Just wanted to present to you possible ordinance that the city commission is going to consider, basically on land banks. A few years ago, when the housing assessment was completed in Sherman County, that was one of the tools that was suggested. Taking a little bit of time, worked with Sherman County Community Development Executive Director Jaleesa O'Hara, and then also presented a possible ordinance to the Housing Committee. Before that, we talked with the City of Pittsburgh officials who have a very active program way down in the southeast part of the state. There's approximately about 40 communities that have a little more than that now, that have passed similar type ordinances and created a land bank within their communities. The purpose of a land bank is basically to try to take distressed or dilapidated properties, and if they have back taxes on it, give them opportunity to donate it to an entity like a land bank. And then the land bank, according to state statute, and also according to an attorney general's opinion, which I included in your packet,
Right.
the back taxes are waived in any assessments. And then that preserves the title going forward to a person who would buy the property and hopefully make it a productive property. And whether it's to the house is torn down or whether it's remodeling the house, whatever, all those options still involved. But it basically provides a conduit, provides a tool to move the property from a non-productive property, nobody's either living in it or it's not taking care of the property, to a property owner that's gonna take care of the property and hopefully improve it and make it worth more. So in the long run, it's, I think, it could be a good tool to use. Don't know how it'll be used here, if it is passed. Like I said, Pittsburgh's very active. They have 100 to 200 properties at any one time going in and out. And the purpose is not to gather the property for the city or for the county. It's really just to be a transactional,
Move it.
move it.
An entity to
Okay, let me ask you this, just hypothetically, Jaleesa, maybe you can answer this. If the county wanted to do one, could you do like, okay, would the city have to have their own ordinance, their own land bank, and then the county'd have to have their own, or could this be a bigger deal where we would just encompass the whole county? That means getting the city of Canarado on board with it and everything else. Does that make sense?
The only ones that I've researched or really looked into, they're city-based, just because it makes more control, because typically cities have different ordinances and things that go into place when it comes to building, and so that keeps it, so each city is responsible for that, and it keeps it in that alignment.
So it sounds like we'd have to do two separate deals if we wanted to do something like that.
Yeah, I would have to work with, see if there's maybe an example of that from a countywide standpoint. I don't see that it would be an issue if Canarado wanted to do something along the lines of this, that they couldn't do the same thing. It would just have to be a conversation with them, but the only examples I've seen were city-based.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's a
Sure.
good concept, absolutely.
The main reason the county's gonna have to be involved in this aspect is that if somebody were to donate that, you're going to be abating county taxes as well.
Right,
So you're gonna have to have some county agreement along with that.
right.
But perfect example is for the tax sale. We had a property that didn't sell.
Mhm.
City and the county could have easily bid on that, and then that could have just rolled into the land bank, and you wipe off those previous taxes. Now it's sitting there, it's gonna go on the next tax sale.
Right.
Okay, so in that scenario, we would just bid on it for whatever the taxes are and then abate them taxes, and that property would become either the cities or the counties or
Or
Well,
the
it'd go
city,
into
or to the land bank.
Yeah,
the city could approach them before a tax sale
correct.
and ask to sign it over, and we wouldn't have to even go through the tax sale process for
Right.
that property.
Okay,
But this particular property, I'm not sure the owners were ever found.
Right, but
So then it would, in that instance, it would have to be bid on
by,
at the sale by the land
The
bank
land
or
bank.
city or county
Okay.
representative. But yeah, so anyone that gets on the tax sale, if they have no use in it whatsoever and they don't want a judgment against them, they can sign that property over to the land bank. At that point, all the previous assessments and taxes will be wiped off.
Okay,
And
now
it
what
goes
if
to the
that,
land bank for development, et cetera.
what if that property was considered a brownfield property? Say an old gas station or a fertilizer plant or, you know, something like that. That's all addressed in here?
No, it's not all addressed. I mean, those issues come up.
Yeah,
There's certain properties that it wouldn't work. I also know certain properties where we have one right now that the person's passed away. There's no way to transfer the property. In fact, there's more than one of those.
Yeah.
That's
There's one
kind
in
of,
particular, she passed away and there is no family. It's just sitting there.
wow.
and it's gonna continue to sit there. But the good thing about the land bank is you don't have to wait 3 or 4 years or longer, depending on what the situation is about, to give an option.
Yep.
To address the problem.
Yep.
And it can be handled quicker.
No, one thing that I've heard negative about these land banks is that you're not required to take bids on any, when you want to sell, you do not have to take open bids on that you can sell that to any individual that you can reach out to because you're trying to move the land. So it's not everybody in the public has the opportunity to buy this property.
Right, and it depends on the situation. There are some that do open bid. But the one thing that I think is a benefit more than having it go through the tax sale is then you can put conditions on the property, on the sale, so that they would have to build within a year or two, or
Have to have a certain appraisal amount when it's done, kind of like your rule up, or neighborhood revitalization plan. You know, there's
Okay.
certain requirements that have to be
Requirements
met.
that you, okay,
So those type of things, but no, I looked through a couple sets of minutes on the Pittsburgh example, and they had sales for, and it was for minimal amounts, 5, 10, 15,000 for the lot. I'm trying to move the lot, but it was to a specific party. Now, it does have in the ordinance that it has to be published for 30 days or something like that.
so the opportunity is there if someone wants to,
No,
it's not
it's
there.
just
Yeah.
announced
Oh, okay,
who the property is going to, and then it goes that way. But now we have a situation where people will bid on properties and then they just hang on to them.
That's what it means. You gotta control the property. The end goal is to get it developed.
Yeah, get something done.
And that means only certain people are gonna,
can bid on it.
are gonna bid on them because they know they can get it done.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the case, depends how it works out.
Yeah.
There's some of those, the 40-some communities across the state that are very inactive. Happens once every few years. There's other of the communities that are active, that get the properties moving.
Okay,
Well, the ideal is to try to move, have improvement in that, I understand. I was just telling that,
Oh, yeah.
that was the negative part that I've heard about land banks, is that only the rich can do this, so the rich get richer and no one else has the opportunity to get in there. That's just the only negative thing I've heard about it.
but if they have requirements that this has to be productive piece of property and improvements made upon it,
There's only a select few people that are
Yeah.
gonna be able to abide by that and make sure it happens.
okay,
Or there's someone who's actively looking and they want
Mhm.
a lot. It seems, you have the similar type situation with tax sale right now. There's only certain people who come to the tax sale and actually bid on the tax sale.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how that's different from this situation.
right,
So, you just try to make it, now, there's announcements all the time, contact the land bank to see if there's any properties you'd like, interest in and all
Right.
that.
Yep.
So, it's just like contacting a realtor, you're finding out what properties are on. And that's what I would foresee happening.
The difference between this and a tax sale is a tax sale, there are really no stipulations. You can buy the property and nobody has nothing to say about it. But with the land bank, you do have stipulations on certain properties that has to be met.
You can,
Yeah.
It's not required, but you can.
Sure.
okay. Question that's coming to my mind is, okay, let's say you have a property that can't find the owners of what you're talking about. And so you get this property into the land bank. Now, the land bank has it and somebody says, I want to buy that property for $20,000. What, and there's no taxes against it or very few, what does the land bank do with the excess money? Can you use it to buy, go to a tax sale and buy other properties? Or what regulations are there, what that money can be used for?
Well, you do have some costs with transacting
Right.
a property. You have titling, you have insurance, you have all those type of things that happen. So those costs need to be paid. I could, if there is additional monies, yes, I could see it used to try regarding other properties.
Okay.
The goal isn't to,
The goal is just to say, we have this listing of properties and,
yeah, the goal is really just to move it.
Right.
Move it from someone, and a lot of times it's, the next generation or third generation
Right.
down. Well, there's this old property grandma had in this, I don't know what to do with it. I haven't done anything with it. I'm not gonna pay the taxes on it. Well, it gives an option for that situation. Or other situations. I don't know all those situations
Right.
that come up, but really, the purpose is to try to have a tool so that there is a way to be able to move it.
So you have to have a separate board So like SCCD board can't do it, or they could, but they probably, you'd have to have a separate board, is that what?
Yeah, or you can have a board that has members that are from another board, but it has to organize and has to.
Has their own separate board of 7 or 10 board members.
Yeah, it can be same people, it can just be.
Right.
Then you're creating a nonprofit.
Yeah, basically, that's what it is. But it makes a report, an annual report to the city, commission.
Right.
And an annual budget, all those type of things.
So-
So it's all reported publicly. And I would view it very similar to the Housing Authority Board, to the couple other boards that we have in this town.
No, I don't, I like it.
I think it'd be a great idea, you know, that give you the opportunity to take some properties that are less than desirable at this time and move them into and we know we need the housing and get stuff going.
It still it still takes the participation of the current property owner.
Right,
This isn't a condemnation deal. Or
Right.
Those type of things. But it hopefully opens up another avenue for something to happen.
well, if you're talking like the person that has no known relatives or anything, that would be the opportunities to,
So
Yeah.
where are you at in the stages of this? Where are you just testing the waters now, or you're actively ready to go?
Well, I presented to city commission last time, but I said, let me go talk to the school board and the county commission first. And then we'll bring it back and then see if they want to go ahead and.
We'd have to do an or a resolution to,
Yeah, something that we're in agreement that any land that goes in the land bank, we abate county taxes, yeah.
So,
that's the direction we go then.
yeah.
Okay.
See how it goes.
All righty,
Anything else?
good enough.
Thank you for the info.
All right, thank you.
thanks.
Is there anything else?
Employee handbook,
Pardon?
employee handbook.
Okay, someone might take a little bit. That one goes back to different.
All of the changes, additions, things like that you guys have discussed over the last year have been made.
Yep.
It's just this is the final draft that needs adoption. It'll be effective January 1st. And new copies will be distributed to all the employees with the acknowledgements to be signed after that period.
Did you get a copy of that?
Was that in my email?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
So according to this, all employees would get a new handbook to be
Yep.
and signed by the end of the year.
Yep, so they have to sign that acknowledgement sheet and turn it in by the end of the year, therefore it can be effective January 1,
Okay,
is my goal.
I would make a motion to adopt the current latest changes on the employee handbook for the upcoming year.
Well, I'll second that. We just approving the handbook though,
Yep.
basically. is what we're
Right,
doing.
yep, right. Been moved and seconded, we approve the handbook to become effective January 1, 2025. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed.
Do you guys review the handbook every year?
No,
Because
no.
I didn't think we did. How often do you do that? Is it set or?
Every other or whenever we just make a change,
Okay.
whenever something comes up.
To see, I think we went over it like 2 or 3 times this last year because we had the inclement weather policy that had never been in there before.
you might have a lot of
Drug testing
legal
needs.
statutory stuff that needs
Changed in there.
Then that prompts
What
all
was,
this other
what was your
stuff.
comment, Brett?
Okay.
I said we changed some things with the drug testing and
Yes.
things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will tell you that we did have a head department meeting. And we talked just to make sure that their inventories were up to date and get that in. Talked about make sure that all their new salaries were in place and ready to go by the first of the year. They were asked to look over their 5-year plans and make sure that they're still on target, or if they need to modify them in any way. One of the big issues they talked about was trying to figure out a way of recognizing employees. And they talked about maybe forming a committee to look into that, to get some different ideas on, other than just, I mean, we had a lot of certificates here that we signed, but to try to do a little bit more than that. Still have a little bit of trouble getting employees, and, we talked about maybe having to come up with some pretty creative ways to promote that a little bit so we can overcome some of those things, so. I think that's about all. Is that right, Ashley?
Mhm.
That's about what we covered.
Okay.
So,
The draft IT brief.
oh, yeah, Eric's in the process of developing a policy for, the use of AI. And it was just a preliminary one, and they were looking at that and trying to determine if we needed one or not, so that will be probably coming down the pipe too. So,
All right. Guess I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Been moved and seconded, we adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. Meeting's adjourned.